Well, Hani joins us live now. Hani, you're at Al-Shifa Hospital. It's one of the largest in the Strip, but if we just look behind you for a second, there doesn't seem to be much left. What are you finding?
Well, good morning, Cyril. Yes, that's true. We are at the Shifa Hospital, and we've been driving around for the past few days, and all what we see is much of the devastation and the destruction caused at the largest public health facility in the Gaza Strip. This is the largest health compound serving the entire Gaza Strip. Every other hospital, it was subordinate to a Shifa hospital, but right now with the complete destruction of a Shifa hospital, completely out of service, there is too much of a pressure and overwhelming situation in other health facilities. And in Gaza City particularly, it's the only the Hani hospital that turned into a major extreme health facility, went from a small marginalized hospital into a larger one. And I'm going to show you what has been caused here to the hospital. The Shifa hospital was stormed twice by the Israeli military. The first one was in December 2023 when the Israeli military set this building right in front of you on fire and destroyed it by the heavy artillery and by the tank shells while people were still trapped inside. Many of the patients and the injuries and those with health complications could not leave. They were trapped here. Many of them were killed inside the building, particularly those who were in need of immediate medical care as the oxygen station was cut off and deliberately suffocating people inside the building. In the second time when the Israeli military stormed the hospital, that was in March 2024, that lasted for a little over a month, where the Israeli military destroyed the specialized surgery building, the one right here on the right side, as we can see, completely gone out of service. The entire facility, these two major buildings, at least housed 600 beds here for patients. Now, none of it exists, none of the medical supplies, none of the medical equipment. Unfortunately, the courtyard of the hospital turned into more of a war zone dominated by the Israeli side. Many people were rounded up from inside the buildings, were driven outside, dragged outside in this particular area. They were blindfolded, they were stripped down to undergarments, some of them were killed, and according to eyewitnesses, they were executed and buried under a huge pile of sands and rubbles caused and built by the tanks and the bulldozer here. Just behind these two buildings, people, as the ceasefire started, people started to come back when they were allowed to return to their homes in northern part of Gaza Strip. We've seen many of the people right here at the main gate of the hospital searching for their relatives and loved ones under the pile of sands and rubbles behind these two buildings. It's believed that the Israeli military, the many people that they killed were buried behind these two buildings, and still many people are searching for the remains of their loved ones and relatives after 15 months of devastation. And already some of the cases here were found, some of the bodies were recovered, but already completely decomposed and nothing left of them. And it was hard to identify whose bodies were these because they were completely deceased. And with the lack of proper health care facilities to do the identification, that was very difficult for people. Quite emotional to see people collapsing right here as they were hoping with the ceasefire they will find their loved ones, relatives and children already or still alive in this area.
Yeah, Hani, we had known and we had reported that there were multiple mass graves that had been found within the Al-Shifa complex after the Israeli military withdrew following their raids on Al-Shifa. But we didn't have all the details that you're bringing us now. Just before I let you go, one thing to be clear, is there anything at the moment that is still functioning within Al-Shifa? Is there any part of the medical operation or medical teams that are still functioning at the moment?
Well, right now, there's only 1% of the capacity of the hospital that is operational. It's only operational because international organizations, with the support of the WHO, managed to set up just one part of the hospital, and it serves as more of a basic medical service for people. Not major things going on here. No operations, no operating theater, no emergency department, and it serves as a transition hub here for cases that are from the vicinity of the area are transferred right away to Al-Ahli hospital at the city center. But here at the hospital, nothing left, and literally we are standing on a pile of ruins. I remember this compound when it was all complete and was all functioning and operational, that all the buildings were operational. Many of the people were seeking medical care here inside Al-Shifa hospital, all the way until the Israeli military forcibly ordered everyone to evacuate, and it started the relentless bombardment campaign that targeted the hospital, its major facilities, including the power station, the solar panels, as well as the oxygen station here, all the pipelines, everything in here. This hospital went from going from 800 medical beds here into now nothing at all.
Yeah, Hani, you know, during the war, the UN issued multiple reports documenting a pattern of Israeli military attacks on hospitals across the Strip. And we see now from what you're showing us that that was not at all an exaggeration. Hani Mahmoud, thanks to you and your team for your reporting.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.